Liberate IT is an Oracle NetSuite solution provider that has been servicing Australian and New Zealand companies since 2011.
Well, good morning, everyone. Really pleased to be with you again today. We are in our second of our fortnightly webinar series for the year. And this one, we are presenting Pepperi to you. My name's Andrew Liniger. I'm your host for today, as always, and really looking forward to spending about an hour with you going through all things Pepperi. Okay, so without any further ado, I'm going to present Naomi. Naomi's part of the Pepperi team. She's a regional sales manager of APAC, and I am going to ask her a few questions. So Naomi, hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you everyone for joining.
I'm awesome, thanks. Hey, I just wanted to ask, how long have you been with the Pepperi team?
I've been with Pepperi over 8 years.
Okay.
So since its really early days as a company and a product.
Yeah, brilliant. And why Pepperi? What are you passionate about? What's your background?
So my background is I started off as a graduate sales rep for Procter & Gamble, calling on pharmacy out on the road. And my passion was always to improve processes for people doing those sort of roles that are out in the field, take away the overhead. And then during my career, I switched from being a sales rep into IT, ended up being an IT manager, I guess most recently for a cosmetics company here in Australia, and implemented Salesforce automation for them, as well as data warehousing and things like that. Also worked globally with Procter & Gamble in Sydney, Melbourne, Singapore. So had a really broad exposure to both large and small businesses. And that's really always been my passion, is to help people behind the scenes do their job better. And I've fallen into my passion with Pepperi.
Yeah, fantastic. I'll hand over to you. That's great, Naomi. Thank you.
Thank you. So I guess I'll share my screen so that I can start to present and take you through Pepperi. As Andrew said, please ask any questions as we go. Type them into the Q&A, and then when you're typing them into the Q&A, he'll ask them if they're time sensitive, appropriate, etc. So I will stop your screen sharing and start mine here. Okay, great. So I guess our catchphrase with Pepperi is connected selling, seamless buying. The idea of Pepperi is that whether it's a sales rep out on the road, whether it's a B2b Ecommerce customer, we have one platform that all the people that need to connect with your business can easily see what you're selling, see the information you want them specifically to see, and be able to communicate with you or order from you or pay their bills and statements with you. And the beauty of the Pepperi environment is its configurability. We're actually very, very similar to NetSuite in that way that we're cloud from the ground up. We're designed to be flexible and configurable. So rather than having to program and code our environment, you can see the Pepperi environment, you can modify the Pepperi environment as an administrator. If you want to learn how to configure it, just like with NetSuite, you can do it yourself, or you can get in, obviously, our team or our partners to come in and help you do it with that configuration. But it's not coding. We don't need to build additional things for you to add in different features and functionality. In some cases, it's a simple drag and drop to add a new column to the screen or add a new feature in your environment. So that's very, very powerful and very exciting, because it means that every single customer can have a totally different environment, but on the same base in the cloud. So it can be accessed from anywhere, online or offline. So I'm very, very, very pleased to be able to present to you today and join Liberate IT in doing that. So first of all, a little bit about Pepperi. We have we're customers in more than 63 countries around the world. We're global, over 1,000 customers. In Australia and New Zealand, we have around 140 customers. A lot of those are integrated with NetSuite. And over 100 employees over 3 offices. One of those offices is based here in Melbourne to look after the Asia Pacific region, but we do follow the sun, so we do have global support. Whenever an issue arises, a ticket can be opened to our help desk team wherever they are and get that support. Our system is designed to be enterprise grade. We have customers from the enterprise right down to medium and small business. And we really focus on the 2 pillars of selling in person and online. And back in 2018, Gartner even called us a cool vendor because of the innovative way that our platform is built. It's quite different and quite unique in how it's all put together. We very rarely say, no, we can't do something. It's typically more, which way do you want to do it? Because there are many options and ways that something can be configured within Pepperi. Some of our customers here, we have a lot of our global customers or our larger customers that are using Pepperi. They all use Pepperi in very different ways. Some that use Pepperi specifically in the Australia-New Zealand region. Hallmark, all their merchandisers use Pepperi. They've done things like download their database of planograms into Pepperi. But obviously they have that information and they're able to do that. Kimberly-Clark has seen some amazing improvements in their uptake, in their order taking. There's a case study on our website with some of the stats and numbers if you want to see it. SodaStream uses around the world, including Australia and New Zealand, for their reps to order. Kerner Hair Care, also Australia, New Zealand, and in Asia Pacific for their reps to place orders. Safilo Eyewear use Pepperi in Chinese, in Greater China, as well as in English around Asia Pacific. And they actually allow their optometrists to place their own, not just the order, but the order with the prescription of the client. So they've configured Pepperi to take that next level and actually do even further data capture that they use within their system. Soulfresh is a food company, Australian-based in Australia, New Zealand, but now expanding around the world, sell organic food. They're doing some very sophisticated things with Pepperi with NetSuite because we're able to bring back in all the information about batches, invoicing, etc. Rip Curl, Australia, New Zealand, and Europe use both the B2b Ecommerce and the sales rep tool together. They have their reps go in before the season, work out a wish list or a favorites list with their customers, and then are able to then have the customers manage that ordering process on the B2b Ecommerce. So they're able to use the 2 systems because it sits on the one platform together with one integration to facilitate both order taking, but also ranging and replenishment order taking. Another thing that Rip Curl takes advantage of, because they're in the fashion field, is our matrix. So they can have one style of shirt, but the rep or the customer can order all the colors and all the sizes in one go and see it all on one screen. You don't have to have a matrix set up in NetSuite to have a matrix in Pepperi. So makes it even more powerful to be able to order quickly and see everything that's available on one screen. You can see a lot of other big brands, Blundstone, a famous Australian brand, Strixon uses for custom clubs. So you can see lots of different companies that we deal with, but really I think our sweet spot is in that medium to large range. So customers typically that also are in that NetSuite space. So hopefully for everyone watching today, their customers would fit into the same sweet spot where they want a little bit more than your basic environment and want to be able to configure it to what they need, which is typically what a NetSuite customer wants to see. So this is the core slide that I'll be showing you. I'm not showing you too many more slides before I jump into the demo, but Pepperi is a platform. We're cloud-based. We are, so you can access it from a browser from wherever you are or from a native app. We have our own iPaaS integration module. So like your Jitterbits, your Boomi, your MuleSoft, except we've written our own. Very, very flexible, can really take in any information and send any information to NetSuite that the API allows. And it's fairly straightforward to modify that, update that, and map the fields. And then once the data is into our platform, we can make that data available to a field team with Salesforce automation. And then with Salesforce automation, we've got different functions available within the environment. Obviously order taking, which is typically core, but also for some companies, merchandising, data capture in the field, photos, forms that they want either the reps or the customers to fill in, and then even to the level of van sales. So taking an order and having your inventory in your van available. All of this works online and offline. So whether you're in the city, whether you're in the country, you can invoice out of your van, down count your inventory, and then have all of that inventory when you get connected again, syncing back to a location, warehouse location in NetSuite. So you can then roll up and know exactly how much stock you have everywhere. Depending on the user profile, a user can have any combination of these available to them. And that's all configured with dragging and dropping. So you might have someone who's both a rep and a merchandiser, or someone who is a merchant, does some merchandising, but also carries some car stock. So it's up to you to configure who has access to which feature and functionality. It can be as simple as one button on a screen, or it can be many buttons on a screen. So if your sales reps are very technophobic, you can make it very simple for them. They know exactly what to tap, where to go, and how to do the job they need to do, but have all the data at their fingertips whenever they need it, that they're supposed to have, whether that's order history, whether that's inventory, whether that's sales movements, sales history, all in front of them as they're taking the order, so they can capitalize on that. It could even be what's on back order. But also, as well as being accessed on the device, your inside sales, support, customer service can access Pepperi, see where the reps were on a map if required, see the orders that were taken, see the communication from the customer at any point in time. And they can log in on the browser version rather than on the device if need be. Finally, the manager. The manager can log in, see reports on their field team, the activities they've been doing, whether they've been performing the tasks that they need to do, can drill down and see if a rep has done a sync even, or what version of the app they've got, or whatever they need to do to make sure they're totally up to date with the system before even having to call support. So they're much more self-sufficient when they're out on the road. So this is all that part of our Salesforce automation module. Then on top of that, on top of the same platform, we also offer B2b Ecommerce. Because it's all on one integration, it means that to configure this is essentially just another user profile. The big difference is here, obviously your salespeople can see all the customers associated with them in their territory. But here the customer can only see their own data. And because it's another user profile, which you'd be familiar with from NetSuite, they can see a totally different environment with different screen layouts, with different rules, with different workflows. For example, if a customer's on credit hold, the sales rep may get a pop-up telling them the customer's on credit hold, but they can still continue to take the order. In the B2b Ecommerce environment, if a customer is on credit hold, they may not be able to take the order. They may get a pop-up saying your order will not be submitted until you are not on credit hold anymore. Or it may route them to a payment gateway and allow them to pay their account if they want to place that order. Same environment, same data, but a different profile and a different view. So your B2b Ecommerce customers can have the best environment for their needs. Single platform, a single integration, and omni-channel B2b Ecommerce environment. So please type some questions in the QA if you have any, because now I'll just jump into a couple more slides about our environment. We're hosted on Amazon out of the US and Europe. So it means that we've got obviously the top servers, the top security, and also the ability to scale. So as we grow, it's very easy for us to add in more resourcing that we need as we sign on more customers. Each customer's environment is an individual secure environment. Our solution, as like NetSuite, is hosted. So as you're all familiar with, no additional overheads because we manage all that, we maintain all of that, and we have global performance. So that works very well. All right, so the Pepperi layout, your brand, your customers, your choice. We obviously have the browser-based Pepperi that can be that home screen for the B2b Ecommerce, or it could be browser-based for your managers or your in-office staff. It works on any browser, it's mobile responsive, and we offer the HTML homepage templates for your B2b Ecommerce customers so you can brand as you need to for your customers to see. We have obviously our app, it's native on Apple and Android. So you download the app, offers full offline capability, it downloads a copy of the database that's relevant to that particular user, and then syncs are only incremental, so they're very fast. And it's configured both for your B2B customers and your reps. So your B2B customer can have your app on their phone. If it's a food service customer, in the fridge or the freezer at the end of the night, doesn't matter whether they have internet or not, they can barcode scan to reorder, or they can place their order through the night as they need to. If it's a sales rep out on a farm calling on the farmer to sell them grain and seed, or to take photos of the crops and capture a history of the crop health as they're visiting, they can do that on their phone or on their iPad or on their Android tablet. So very flexible as to what you can do, either online, offline, or on the browser. And finally, our private label apps. We can also private label on the Apple or Android App Store your own branded app. So when your customers want to order from you, they're downloading your app in your name. And your reps obviously can use the same app as well. So very flexible, very powerful, but really designed to represent you and your brand to your customers. So now I'll jump into the demo and show you the different Pepperi environments. Okay.
Hey, Naomi, while you do
Yes.
that, I've got a question from Jason.
Okay.
And he's asked, can customers view and pay all the invoices raised in NetSuite, whether it was entered through Pepperi or not?
Yes, they can.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, it's a great question. I'll show that to you when I show you this demo. First, what I'll do is I'll take you through our B2b Ecommerce, and as part of that, I can show you where customers can pay their statements or their bills, because we can send back and forth any data from NetSuite. So irrespective of where customers have placed their orders, if it's in NetSuite, we can get it back into Pepperi and then allow them to pay their statement. They could even use a credit card that you have saved in NetSuite if you've got your NetSuite payment gateway configured that way. And then after I show you the B2b Ecommerce, I'll show you the sales rep tool and how that works. But bear in mind, it is the same environment. It's just configured differently to look different depending on who you're logging in as. So here I'm logged in as a food industry buyer. We have different demos for different industries. And we do that because the look and feel can be totally different for different industries, depending on their types of clients. Here, we've got some links to some of the brands you can order. Promotions, we have an advanced promotions module where you can configure some sophisticated promotions. Even if you don't set them up in NetSuite, we can configure them in the Pepperi environment and send them through to NetSuite and flag that they're a promotion. And then you can also tag things like new arrivals, best sellers, but also you can show customers their credit limit, what open invoices they have. And since you've asked the question, I'll jump into that invoices piece before I go to the order taking piece, where here you can actually see your open invoices and you can filter them by payment status. And then you can tick on a couple and you can pay it online and it'll send it to your payment gateway and then they can pay. It can be PayPal, it can be eWay, it can be the NetSuite payment gateway, any number of payment gateways. So you can see the customers can do that if they want to. Now here in the order taking area, I'll just jump into our fruit area, for example. It takes you straight into the Pepperi ordering environment. And this is all built for purpose. It's all configured. So all you're choosing when you're setting this up is this is data from NetSuite as to the categories and the brands that they can see. We can have 3 levels of hierarchy, so you can really drill down to many different levels. These images can come from NetSuite, or they can be they can come from a flat file. All of this colors, shapes, theming is all configured within the Pepperi environment. We have your wish list, so the customer can choose specifically which items they want to see and then filter by that wish list at any point. And then if they want to order, it's as simple as clicking on the plus. And you can see here, it's incremented by 2, but then it increments by 1, so that you can control inner quantities, minimum quantities, etc. Now you also see here, this is our promotions module. It's as I'm ordering more, it's actually down counting. Buy 7 more, 6 more to get 5% off. And then if I actually order 10 here, it says buy 10 more to get 6% off. But then if I order another one, it could also say buy more to get 7% off or 10% off. So it can actually keep increasing to offer your quantity discounts. You can also search for the items, but also they can drill in and see any other pieces of information about your items, item purchase history, last order date, inventory, etc. Now we can also put that information, if we wanted to, on this screen. All of it is configured via dragging and dropping. We can also sort by any parameters you allow them to sort by. We can also have lots of different views that we can default the user to see. So grid line, for example, shows you a totally different layout and a different set where we can include more. Typically that's used more by the sales rep, but depending on the industry, if you want to go through and really quickly order something, you've got that grid line view. The smart search also allows you to, as people are very used to, within the category, to filter down and drill down to be able to see whatever they need to see. We can also order in units of measure. So when you're ordering in units of measure, whether it's liters, whether it's cases, etc., those conversions can be done based on the data in NetSuite. And we have one food service customer in NetSuite one food customer who uses NetSuite. Their food service customers see by default cases, while their stores or retail store customers see units by default. So again, it's based on that user profile and what they log in to see. All right. So when we then go into the cart, we can see here if any special pricing, and the pricing the customer sees is the pricing that is allocated to them in NetSuite. Also, if there are any additional discounts on the order or discounts allocated to them, they will see it. And if there is any freight requirements, we can also calculate freight. If you've got the dimensions and the size of the items in NetSuite, we can do a calculation and then connect into the freight company and bring that information back. It's really about what you have set up in your NetSuite environment, plus how you want to configure this. The other beauty of the configurability of Pepperi versus having to code it means that you don't need to put all these things in at once. You can really do a staged implementation and grow and develop as you want to add more to your environment. Similar to your NetSuite. If you want access to a new module, you can add the new module in and then take advantage of it. Once the order is submitted, in this case, we've got a pop-up. Minimum order for free delivery is $500. So again, configured in our environment to what you need. Submit the order. That order is now visible to the customers for so they can see their order history. Here in their order history, we can give them access to orders, statements, invoices, 30, 60, 90 days, etc. We can even create a form for the customer to contact you. And then in that form, you configure it how you need to. And then once they submit it, it can automatically get sent to customer service or to their sales rep or whoever it needs to get to. And all of this is available both on the web as well as on the app. So that's sort of a really quick overview of the web environment. I can see there's a few questions that have popped up. Andrew, were there any that you wanted to ask me before I switch into the sales rep app?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so first one from Julian. We're looking at how to add a customer portal to NetSuite with a better user interface than the native NetSuite portal. So yeah, I mean, the customer portal is free from NetSuite, right? So it's very NetSuite looking. It doesn't give your brand, it doesn't give your look and feel, and doesn't present the information the way that you like, or like what we just saw here. So that was probably a self-answered question. I think I've answered that. What else have we got? I think, oh yes, another question from Jason again, who asked about the invoices. What about credits? If they've already got credits on their account, will they see those when ordering?
Yep. So yes, you can send in orders, credits. I see that you also talk about applying credits you may have in NetSuite. So we can configure those as well if need be. A similar use case we have with a customer in the US is where the customer actually has a loyalty program built into the Pepperi portal, and the customer can actually apply the loyalty points into their order, which then discounts the order. So it's about, we can definitely send the returns or credits data in, and then we can build in the workflow. It's a configuration to build in the workflow to be able to use that information somehow against that order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And in terms of the customer portal, that's actually what some of our customers are doing. They're making this Pepperi B2b Ecommerce environment a one-stop shop. When their customers log in, they link it to their database of files that they have for the customer to download. Against every item, you can load in PDFs with ingredients lists or product information or things like that. And so if you're using the system maybe and you're talking to a customer in the store and you're on the app version or the mobile responsive browser version, you can download those files and email it straight to your customer that you're talking to. So it's really designed for those businesses to also help their consumers.
Okay. Another one for Jason.
Yeah.
Can customers pay, if you've got a customer that has to pay before you dispatch the order to them, can you set that up in Pepperi, in the B2B system?
Absolutely. Everything is configured with workflows. It looks like a flow chart. So you would set up the workflow for a customer that is flagged in that way in NetSuite to when they hit that submit button, the next screen that will pop up is that payment screen. While a customer who is on account and doesn't need to pay before dispatch would automatically just hit submit and the order would go through. So it's all configurable.
Nice one.
Yeah.
That's it for questions for now.
Yeah, great. So I will jump into the iPad environment here. So what I have brought up on the screen is my iPad logged into our food sales rep demo. we have different, again, demos, not just for the food industry, we have it for the beauty industry, for the fashion industry, so people that sell uniforms, that sell clothing, that sell eyewear. It's a specific demo with specific terminology and features that are most required in those industries. So eyewear, it might be that matrix, or where they can see all the items and colors of the different frames. Or it could be our variants view, where you can see all the variants on one screen, but you can tap through the different colors and order them and all the other information, not just ordering, but order history, as you could all on one screen for one style. In the beauty industry, it could be all of the lipsticks are all on one page, or it could be that a link to the videos and the TV commercials for the beauty items that are coming up. Here in the food industry, we've got a lot of buttons set up down here, but as per anything in Pepperi, because of our drag and drop functionality, this could be as simple as 2 buttons or all the buttons that you see here. And in this demo, because it is a demo account, we've loaded in a lot of buttons so that we can demo a lot of different features and functionality. And obviously, if I'm having a one-on-one demo with you, I can take you through the ones that you specifically want to see. The 3 that are most typically used by our customers are the quick order, the My Account, and the activities. And again, they don't have to be called My Accounts. It could be called My Stores. Activities could be called Order History. A quick order, typically, you tap on it, and obviously you find your customer's name and you place an order. So very fast, online, offline, all the data is local, so you're not going to the web. So even if you're in range and go out of range at some point, it's all being done locally, so you don't lose the order, which can happen on an online-only system. My Accounts, you see all the account information that you want the field rep to see from NetSuite. Here we've chosen, again, with dragging and dropping, to show credit limit, to show the phone number. If they're using it on their phone, they can call the customer, but also they can filter these accounts based on any of the parameters or attributes that you have in NetSuite. It could be, is it a lead? Is it a prospect? Is it an A, B, or C grade, or large, medium, or small? And it will filter them down, and the rep will only see the accounts that they need to see. And that's driven by NetSuite. Now, also, you can see the accounts here. They're in alphabetical order, but you can also see them in distance from you, and also see them on a map. So here it's showing where I am in Melbourne, but if we drill out to show you some accounts in Europe or in the US, you can see you can have different colored dots. You can also make appointments for the customers you want to see, and then that drills into where you have to go for the day, so into your appointments. Also, if you wanted to allow your customers to, they can create their own customers and then make notes, etc., against those customers if need be. Then when they go into the account, this is really the engine room of the Pepperi environment. And this is our account dashboard. Again, you choose what you want your reps or B2B customers, because it is the same environment for your B2B customers to see. Here we have many buttons. We could just be one button if you wanted to. But what you see that starts to be different here from the B2b Ecommerce is we not only have sales orders, we also have the ability to put in custom forms like in-store audits or surveys or things like that. Here we have the most recent activities color coded, so we know it's green. I know it's gone through. I know this order's in NetSuite. But also here you can see open tasks, sales orders, orders done by B2B. Again, you choose what information you want the rep to be able to see, and it's as easy as creating a new view and dragging it into adding it to the screen for the rep to get a new report. Also, top items the customers purchased. And here, if you want to see it in more detail, there is the ability to go in, see whatever time period, the reps can see how they're performing versus their target. They can see order history. Obviously, they can open any of those orders. They can copy the order from an old to a new order. They can copy the order from one account to another account. So very flexible as to how they work. Now, to show you one of the features that's different from the B2b Ecommerce is that in-store audit. So here it's a custom form. We can really create any fields and features. Here we're showing them what the planogram is they need to achieve. They take a photo. It can be checkboxes, it can be drop downs, etc. And then when this is submitted, it's obviously available for the manager to see, but it's also could be emailed to somebody as need be. Same with the survey, but in the survey we show an example of multiple pages. So, and with some calculations as well. So it's even a bit more sophisticated. Here they're just sort of capturing the data that you're asking them to capture, but then they're moving through the different screens. And then it will do that calculation at the end to actually show them how they've performed. So again, configurable to what you need to capture when you're out in the field. We can also do things like if you have your assets, some of our customers have fridges out in the store and they manage the repairs of the fridges or the requests for repair for the fridges, the assets, the asset numbers, etc. within the environment. With the order taking environment, when you tap on the sales order, we also have the ability to pop up at the beginning or any sort of stage of the process of the order taking. This is also available in the B2B. In this case, we're talking about some promotions available, special price on fruit and veg, etc. And again, here we've got the medium view. We can scroll through and see those promotions that we had on the web version, but also we can drill down by category. So if you've got a lot of SKUs, it makes it very easy to navigate and very easy to search. But also we have dynamic filters. This is what the customers ordered in the last 3 months based on data from NetSuite. These are the customers' favorites or wish lists. And here in this environment, we've also got the ability to barcode scan, either with a Bluetooth barcode scanner or the camera of the device, but also in the grid line, we've configured the environment so that it shows them even more data. Because it's a sales rep, we've shown them what the customers ordered over the last 6 months here, but also the average orders and the difference, etc. So as they're ordering, these numbers will change and highlighted things. So they know straight away what they need to focus on, what maybe versus their KPIs that they need to achieve. And also in the item information, I'll go into this one, just like on the web, we've got an ability to show multiple images, order history, etc., and files. So the rep has all the access that they need to place their orders at any time. So, but the additional thing that I'll show you in this environment, again available for the web or for the rep, is our promotions module. And here not only can we do promotions, volume discount, things like that, but we can do additional types of promotions like buy 50 cans, get 5 for free. So in here, you can actually choose the start and end date, when the customer can see it, which items are available to pick, which items they can pick for free. And then all of that information is sent into NetSuite as lines within the order. So here, if I'm only ordering a couple of items and I tap on done, it won't let me do any more. I'm going to need to select 46 more items. Otherwise, it's not going to let me continue with that order. So it's really locking it down so that the rep or the B2B customer has to order the right amount. Then I've got a selection of items, maybe clearance items that you want to move to provide for free. And then when I hit done, that is now added. And now you've got one instance of this particular order. Or here, 3 wines for $80 as an example, where we select 3 wines. This could be a range, it could be a pre-pack, it could be a planogram that you want the rep or the B2B customer to order from. So here I'll order 3 and done. And what it does is it prorates the price so that it totals $80. So now what we see is when we go into the cart, we can see the promoted items are in blue, so they can't be edited, while the initial line that I ordered can still be edited. And in this case, we've also allowed the rep to put in a discount if they want, but again, dragging and dropping in configuration. We've also got in here lots of other information we've chosen to put into the bottom of the screen, again with dragging and dropping. Also, the rep can get a customer signature if need be. So this could be used for proof of purchase, and also all the other order information. In this case, we've actually made mandatory to select the shipping method. So if I try and get out of this order now, or I try and submit the order, it won't let me. But really this could be any field and any description which will allow me to, that we can make mandatory. Also, going back into the ordering environment, not only can we filter by these brands and categories or the dynamic filters, we can also drill down by any other attribute or category that we want to provide out of our NetSuite data. And this can be custom fields in NetSuite. It can be your standard default fields that you've included, etc. So again, very easy for a sales rep or a B2B customer to find exactly what they want. If
Naomi,
yes,
I've got another question for you. So you've shown us the flexibility, I guess, of promotions and pricing in Pepperi. What if a customer's already got that set up in NetSuite? If they've got complex pricing, contract pricing for customers,
yes,
and they have promos, is that something that could be pushed through from NetSuite to Pepperi, or would you? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. So we have a NetSuite customer already in the food industry who's doing exactly that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Great. So going back into other things you can see here is you can actually open a PDF, which can be automatically emailed to the customer, which has can have images. This is used a lot by our gift industry customers at trade shows, where they'll take an order with barcode scanning, they'll walk around the stand, zap, 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 place the order, it automatically adds the quantity into the order, and then they'll actually print out a copy of the PDF for their customers on the stand at the trade show with all the images. Or if they don't want to print at the show, being environmentally friendly, it'll automatically email the customer a copy of their order. So as they're going around the show, they already know what they've ordered and the images of what they've ordered. And we find that for those of our customers, that means that the customers are less likely to cancel the orders because they not only can remember what they've ordered, they can see it. Some of our customers even take deposits at trade shows from their customers with Pepperi, using our Pepperi payment gateway on the device. So they'll take a deposit. So again, order attention is much, much higher because they're able to do that, and the system will calculate that deposit value for them. So to print, we connect to a printer. Order email is if you want to do it manually, but also the system can be configured that once you hit the submit button, that can happen automatically. So the last search thing I wanted to show you here was if I just wanted to search for chocolate, for example, and I type in choc, it brings up everything that's got choc in the name. So lots of different ways for your customers or your field team to find things quickly, whether they're in front of their customer, as in a sales rep, or even in a retail store environment, and they want to say, the retailer says, I'll just check the supplier's database, see what they've got in stock, and they can see your items in stock. Okay, one last thing I wanted to show you in the cart, because then I think we're nearing the end of our time now, is here in the cart. Once you want to submit the order, we just hit submit, but also we can add in other workflows, whether it's payment, save as a draft, send it for approval. We can also have flags in there that if a certain amount of discount has been added, it can automatically send it for approval. And on the B2b Ecommerce, your customers can upload their own order from their point of sale system, so they don't even have to type it in. So you can, I guess, in a nutshell, everything you see here is extremely flexible, it's extremely dynamic, and be configured to give you a competitive advantage in your business, increase your sales, and also get the most out of your NetSuite environment, as well as your Pepperi environment, as well as the investment you're making for your people in the field or in your B2b e-commerce environment. So I think that's probably enough of an overview. Obviously, I can show you more specifics if we have a one-on-one session. Thank you all for your time and your attention today. Please, we've got a little bit of time now for some more Q&A. So ask any other questions that you may have, happy to go through those. So thank you very much for your attention today.
Thanks, Naomi. I do have another one that was asked a long time ago, but I didn't want to ruin your flow. So with the sales rep entering CRM functions like customer notes and visit notes when they're out on site, does that flow back to NetSuite, to the customer record?
Yes. Yeah, we can integrate with anything that NetSuite allows into their system with an API. We can integrate them back. We just have to match the fields. So,
great.
Yeah.
Great. One thing I like about, while we're waiting for any further questions, is NetSuite obviously has a single source of truth, right? And what we're doing here is extending that to the sales rep, to the Pepperi platform. It's not like we've got a single source of truth over here with NetSuite and then a different one over here with Pepperi. It's all integrated, right? So I know that wasn't a question, that was a comment. But
it's true. NetSuite is the master of the universe, I like to say. And then Pepperi just makes that available, but in a format that adds value to your NetSuite implementation.
We hope this video gave you the information you were after. If you have any further questions, get in touch with us using the links in the description. At Liberate IT, we can provide free consulting to understand your business system requirements, understand your company growth plans, and provide free NetSuite demonstrations. For more information, visit our website.